Here we are, episode, I don't know, 16 at this point. Thank you for joining me. This is Gen X versus AI. Recap, my goal is to learn all about AI and robotics. I figured that I'm being selfish by scheduling these live social media events every Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday is my goal at 9 p.m. I switched that because in the Northeast it's getting nice, so I want to be able to handle or have some more sunshine. But I know if I schedule these, then I am more apt to learn and go through the process of continuing to learn all this. So my goal for today is to learn how to make an AI agent. I did play with it a little bit yesterday and I definitely was struggling, so I'm going to try to do that some more. Before I do that, again, my goal is to do a little bit on news before I get into trying to learn more. So let's see what kind of AI robotic news we can find.
Restreams.
Well, I think these robots are coming quicker and quicker and quicker as far as in the workforce. Again, I never quite know which is CGI versus real, but I'm getting more and more that look real, so let's see what this is. Robot, there's a Dyson vacuum. Okay. Let's see how he does. It does. I don't know. What are we doing? He, she, it. Not perfect, but again, I think the biggest thing with these AI robots is once one learns, and gets better at it, I think all the information goes to all the robots all over the world. So,
Or if they're autonomous. But if it is teleoperation that we're seeing here, then the data being collected may be used for imitation learning later. Or if they're autonomous. But if it is
well, that's right. So the whole idea is, you get the information, but that gets learned across all of them. All right, let's see what this one is. Oh, we've seen that one before.
Just got several generalist AI upgrades from NVIDIA, and today I'm going to show you their newest, most impressive features and what they can now do as a direct result. Starting with number 3, Neo Gamma from 1X Robotics. In fact, this humanoid has 9 new upgrades compared to its original Neo Beta version. Starting with number 9, its multi-purpose whole body controller. This whole body controller is made for natural human-like movement with synchronized arm swings, and it allows the robot to squat, pick up objects, and sit in chairs, and mimic other forms of human motion very closely. And it operates at 100 hertz and uses reinforcement learning that's trained from human motion capture data, and this provides for more dynamic levels of control and an expanded range of motion. This leads us to number 8, its improved general purpose manipulation, which is thanks to Neo Gamma's new visual manipulation model that enables...
It is kind of funny, all these little videos are showing household chores. I'm just telling you, you know what? They sell one for $20,000 or $30,000 that does household chores. It might seem like a lot of money, but I think they'll end up selling a lot of them for that reason alone.
To pick up a wide variety of objects in diverse, untrained environments, and it's powered by end-to-end neural networks that predict teleoperated actions directly from raw sensor data, which enhances its overall adaptability and versatility in real-world environments. Then there's upgrade number 7, its large language models, and these are newly developed LLMs that drive Neo Gamma.
What we got here? Definitely a little scary if these are in some kind of certainly war. Uh-oh. No, this is CGI, I could tell. So that's not real, you know. I'm looking at some news. Just, well, let me see if we got any news for this week. Um,
In just the past few days, the robotics world has exploded with news that sounds completely unreal. Except it's all completely real. Unitree's G1 humanoid just got a major upgrade with a system called Ammo that lets it clean your house, pick up toys, open the fridge, and even load the dishwasher like it's been living with you for years. Their B2 robot dog now got redesigned for firefighting. With a water cannon that can blast foam nearly 200 feet,
I like to
Lenovo
see that.
stepped into the game with its first humanoid, Legion No 1, which performed Tai Chi live on stage and answered real-time business questions. And Beijing just announced it'll be hosting the World Humanoid Robot Sports Games this August, inside actual Olympic venues, with robots competing in track, gymnastics, and even soccer. So let's talk about it. All right, by now pretty much every
now we've seen this guy before.
robots to copy how people move, but not how people adjust in real time. That's where Ammo changes everything. AMO is built differently. It combines reinforcement learning and trajectory optimization in a way
I mean, I can understand them wanting the movement like a human. Um, I just think the first ones don't need to be human-like. You know, as long as they can get around a household or a yard or something, I guess is the most important part.
lets the robot not only learn how to move, but how to adapt on the fly. First, the system runs millions of motion tests in sim. It'll track your movements like a shadow. But what's crazy is that once you let go, it doesn't freeze. It keeps going. It understands the goal and keeps posture to reach angles that older robots couldn't even attempt. There's also a ton of work behind the scenes to make sure this control works out of distribution, which basically means G1 can handle commands in situations it never saw during training. You can tell it to stretch further, crouch lower, or rotate more than it was trained.
Nowadays,
Pretty
it
wild.
seems like AI is better.
All right, well, that's pretty cool. All right. Don't really know how I can do this because I need to do some research here on how to create my first AI agent. So I think I am committed to using the NAN. I guess I didn't save it. So NAN. I don't know why I didn't. Oh, yeah, I did. So I got a file here for just learning AI agents. Where is it? There it is. Okay, so there's my NAN. So I created this account yesterday. Let's see. Need to sign in. All right, so again, this is going to be a little painful because I am learning, not teaching. So here is a workflow. My goal is I want to be able to send this AI agent an email from I'm just going to use another email of mine. The agent, I guess this is what we would call the AI agent. You know, it hooks up to tools and things. So it would then, the trigger would be the Gmail coming in. It goes to the agent. The agent needs to connect to an LLM model to read the email and then create a response. And then it probably might have to go to a different tool maybe first. And then finally to another Gmail tool to reply to that Gmail. So I have I'm struggling. I'm struggling because I'm cheap. I don't want to pay for these LLM models yet. I'm still trying to learn. So what I did learn is you can download these LLM models, right? These large language models, and run it off of your computer. So that's what I did.
I'm not quite sure how to help you with that.
Let's see. Is this it? So LM Studio. So, and oh, it looks like I finally downloaded. So look at this one. This large language model is 71 gigabytes. This other one is 1.3 gigabytes, and then the other one is DeepSeek. This is Llama, and then DeepSeek. So again, I don't know what all this means yet. I thought I had done it right and connected it, but I can't get it to work. So when you do a test, it sees the email. This sent it down to DeepSeek, and DeepSeek, it's not working. So this is what I'm going to try to fix, is how to connect an LLM. So whether that's the one on my home computer or what. So I don't know why I start yawning when I do some of these things, but so I tried using, maybe that's what I did wrong. So I tried using just Google Studios where I can talk, and it walked me through it. What I find with Google Studios is it just doesn't really think through it the same. ChatGPT definitely seems to think through it better. So maybe I'll try that first. Maybe I can try to describe what I am doing. Just telling, again, I don't know how much it makes a difference, but I just usually tell ChatGPT, you're an expert in this. You're an expert in YouTube videos. You're an expert in whatever I'm doing. So I just say you're an expert in this first. So you're an expert in AI agents, especially using the N8N model or tool. So I don't know. I guess I can't share my screen yet with this, right? what is the program I'm using here? LM Studio. So I'm just walking through how I can get it to run on my computer, but I cannot get it to run on N8N. See what it basically see what it says. Okay, so it's basically saying to go to my LM Studio, and just run it. Okay, which I did. So this is it here now. I don't know. I don't really know how this works. So do I just keep running it? Did this run one time? I think I can take this address and copy it, and then just put it in any browser, and that should then call up my local DeepSeek model, which it does here, I believe, right? Okay, so I think that means it's running. I don't know. So I don't know how to. I don't understand what it's saying how to test this. So I'm gonna actually open up Google Studio and share my screen. Maybe I can share ChatGPT actually. It might be a better way to go about it. Does it give me that option? Can I share? Okay, I want to share my entire screen. That's the way I'd really do it. Okay, so that way I can bring things in and out.
Okay, it looks like you're connecting DeepSeek via LM Studio to N8N. Is there anything specific you'd like me to do, or any questions you have about that process?
Yeah, Gemini, can you read what ChatGPT told me to do instruction-wise, and then help me do those instructions?
Okay, I can read the instructions that ChatGPT provided. The first step is to confirm that LM Studio is exposing an API. 1. Open LM Studio. 2. Load the DeepSeek model. 3. Enable OpenAI compatible API server if available. 4. Note the server URL. Usually something like http://localhost port 1234/v1/chat/
Okay, is that what we're doing here? I mean, is this looks like it's running. Is that running or not running?
Based on what I see, LM Studio appears to be running. The log message, LM Studio server, success. HTTP server listening on port 1234 indicates that the server has started successfully.
Can I write it a message just to see if it's working?
Sure, it seems like you want to test if the server is working by sending a message. Have you tried using the chat interface within LM Studio, or are you planning to send a request from a different application?
Well, let me start here. You can see my screen. Oh, it says no model selected.
I see that the interface says no model selected. Before sending a message, you'll need to choose a model from the Select a Model to send a message drop-down menu.
All right,
Have you already loaded the DeepSeek model, like the instructions mentioned?
Okay, I just did.
Great. It looks like you've entered, hi, what is 2x4? Is it processing, or have you received a response yet?
No, I guess it's processing.
Okay. I see the thinking indicator. It might take a moment to generate a response. Is there anything else you'd like me to keep an eye on while it processes?
Okay, so this is working. Okay, so once again, tell me how to get the information or the API for NAN software.
I see the DeepSeek model correctly answered your question. Now, to clarify, are you asking how to get the response 2 times 4 equals 8 into N8N?
No, I just want to get this model. I want NAN to be able to pull up DeepSeek off my computer, I guess, through LM Studio.
It seems that you want to connect N8N to DeepSeek, which is running locally through LM Studio. The key is to use the LM Studio's OpenAI compatible API to access the model.
So where do I find that?
Okay, to find the API endpoint, go back to the LM Studio interface. In the bottom panel, you should see the developer logs. Look for the line that says LM Studio server, success. HTTP server listening on port 12.
So do you see it here?
Yes, I see it. It says HTTP server listening on port 1234 and reachable at http://127.0.0.
So which one am I going to use?
To get chat completions, you'll want to use the /v1/chat/completions endpoint. You can see it listed under supported endpoints in the LM Studio interface.
Okay, so I've never done this before, so be very detailed. Tell me what to do. I'm here on NAN software, and I'm trying to set up this DeepSeek model, but it's not working. So I think I should delete it and start over with your instruction.
It sounds like you're having trouble getting the DeepSeek chat model to work in N8N and are considering starting over. To clarify, are you planning to delete the DeepSeek chat model node in N8N and rebuild it?
I'm going to do... I just did. It's okay. So what is step 1?
Okay, now that it's deleted, let's start with step 1. Can you describe what you are hoping to accomplish with this N8N workflow?
I'm going to receive an email from DSH Enterprise Inc. I want the AI agent to read the email. Then I want it to create a funny response and then respond to the email.
Thanks. So to summarize, you want to set up a workflow that triggers when you receive an email from DSH Enterprise Inc., then uses an AI agent to read the email, create a funny response, and send that response back?
Correct.
Alright, since you want the AI to create a funny response, it will need a prompt. Do you want me to help you create a good prompt for the LLM?
Yes.
Okay. Since the goal is to create a funny response, let's start with a basic prompt and then refine it. How about this? Write a short, funny response to the following email_content. Do you think this would work?
Yes, that's fine. So what do I do in NAN?
You will need to insert that prompt into the basic LLM chain node. The basic LLM chain node likely has a field where you can input a prompt or template for generating text.
All right, I already have this prompt. Can you read it as I scroll through it and tell me if this looks correct?
I can do that. Please scroll through the prompt, and I'll read it and give you my feedback.
Okay, that's done.
Okay, I see the first part of the prompt. Please write a short, funny response email that keeps things professional but adds a humorous twist.
No, reread it. So everything I'm selecting, I want you to read.
I will reread the prompt as you are selecting it. It starts with, "You are a witty AI assistant responding to emails from my business partner Dan. Your job is to generate a humorous, playful, and sarcastically professional reply to DSH's email based on the subject and body of DSH's email." It continues to say, "Funny and clever, slightly sarcastic, in a friendly way, still business appropriate. The kind of humor business partners with a lot of rapport would use. Is that correct?"
How does that sound to you?
Thanks, that sounds like a very detailed and specific prompt, which should help the AI generate responses that match your desired tone and style. Do you have any concerns about it?
Let me test it. Okay, I couldn't test it because I'm assuming it needs an LLM model connected to it.
That's right. It looks like the error message on the screen says, "A model subnode must be connected and enabled." So you'll need to connect an LLM model to the basic LLM chain node.
So again, I want to connect the LLM model DeepSeek that I downloaded on my computer through LM Studio. Can you give me very detailed instructions how to do that?
No problem. To connect the DeepSeek LLM model you downloaded through LM Studio, first click and drag the DeepSeek chat model module from the right panel. Then connect it to the basic LLM chain by dragging from the plus symbol of the basic LLM chain to the DeepSeek chat
Do I
model.
use DeepSeek chat model even though I'm not using an API? I want it to use the DeepSeek on my home computer.
Yes, use the DeepSeek chat model module. It seems to be designed for advanced usage with an AI chain, so it should work even if you're not directly using an API.
Okay, now what?
Now, have you selected the credential to connect with your DeepSeek account?
Just tell me what to do. I have DeepSeek downloaded on my home computer. What is my next step, Gemini?
To complete the connection, you may need to configure the DeepSeek chat model with your DeepSeek account credentials. Look for a field or setting that allows you to input your API key or authentication token. Have you located that?
Well, again, I have the DeepSeek on my home computer through LM Studio. So where do I find an API, or am I just using this local host address?
Since you are running DeepSeek on your local computer through LM Studio, you'll likely need to use the local host address provided by LM Studio rather than an API key. I see the local server address is reachable at the address http://127.0.0.1:1:234. Does that address work?
Is there a way to test that address?
Yes. A quick way to test the address is to copy and paste it into a web browser on your computer. If DeepSeek is running correctly, it should load a page or interface.
Okay, so when I put it in, you can see my screen. I got an error message.
I see the error message, unexpected endpoint or method. Get. It seems like the base address may not be the correct endpoint. Often, there's a specific path or endpoint required to access the API. Do you see any documentation or instructions within LM Studio that specify the correct API
Well,
endpoint?
can you see my screen? It looks like this local host address worked.
Ah, I see that you navigated to http://127.0.0.
No, I didn't. Read at the top, it says localhost 1234.
Okay, try using this local host address with the port in your DeepSeek chat MUL configuration. Does that work?
So I just copy and paste that in a browser.
Is the information displayed the same way as before?
So when I put this in the browser and hit enter, this is the response I get. Can you read that, and does that make sense?
Yes, that is the correct information. Next, you need to configure the connection in your workflow using the proper endpoint. Have you tried using the add option button to add the local host with the port?
Can you walk me through that, please?
Looking at the DeepSeek chat MUL configuration, it appears there are areas for credential to connect with DeepSeek account and model. Would you like me to walk you through
Yes.
adding?
Can you see my screen?
Yes, I can see your screen. To start, click on the edit icon next to credential to connect with DeepSeek account. From there, you should be able to input the local host with the port. Does that work?
So it says credential to connect with. I hit the create new credentials, or I keep the DeepSeek account.
Select create new credential.
Okay.
You'll then
Now what?
Now, instead of an API key, enter the local host address, http://127.
Do I put that under API key, or do I hit this that says expression?
Enter the local host address into the API key field.
Okay, does that look like it's the correct address?
Yes, the local host address appears to be correct. Now click the Save button in the top right corner to save the new credential.
Okay. And now I got an error message. Gemini, are you there?
I see that the model field in your DeepSeek chat model requires you to choose from a drop-down list of available models. This list is likely being populated by querying the /v1/models endpoint you accessed earlier. Can you click on the drop-down to see if the DeepSeek model you loaded in LM Studio is listed there?
Well, I'm getting an it couldn't connect with these settings error. So what do I do next? Can you see my screen? Gemini, can you see my screen?
Yes, I can see your screen. It looks like there's a connection error with the DeepSeek account settings. The error message states, couldn't connect with these settings. It also looks like you've entered the API key as http://localhost port 1234/v1/models. Is that correct?
Yeah, so how do I fix this?
The error message, couldn't connect with these settings. Unauthorized suggests that the issue might be with the authentication or the way the API key is being passed. Have you tried setting the API key as just the base URLH TTP:// localhost port 1234?
No. So tell me what to do. Say that again slow.
Okay. Try replacing http colon slash slash localhost port 1234 slash v1 slash models in the API key field with just http colon slash slash localhost port 1234. Then click the retry button to see if the connection is successful.
Okay, read it again. So is this correct?
No, it is not. Remove the slash v1 slash models from the end so that it says http colon.
Okay, is this now correct?
Yes. http colon slash slash localhost port 1234 is now correct in the API key field. Have you clicked the retry button yet to test the connection?
Yep, it still says couldn't connect with these settings.
Okay, it appears we are still facing the same unauthorized error. I recommend checking the N8N documentation or community forums for specific instructions on how to connect to an OpenAI compatible API, like the one provided by LM Studio. Would you like me to help you find relevant resources?
So my question is, I'm running NAN through the browser, and then I'm running the LLM on my local computer. Could that be the problem?
Yes, it's possible that running N8N in the browser and the LLM on your local computer could be contributing to the problem. Browser-based applications sometimes have security restrictions that can interfere with accessing local resources. Have you ensured that N8N has the necessary permissions to access the local host?
Can you walk me through how to check?
The specific steps to allow N8N to access the local host can vary depending on your browser and operating system. I recommend checking the documentation for your specific browser for instructions on how to allow a website to access local resources.
Or should I download NAN and run it on my local computer?
That's a great question. Running N8N directly on your local computer instead of through a browser might eliminate some of the permission issues and security restrictions. Would you like to try that approach?
Yes, can you walk me through how to download NAN?
To download N8N, you can visit the official N8N website and navigate to the installation section. There, you'll find instructions and download links for various operating systems. Would you like me to provide you with a direct link to the N8N installation page?
Yes.
Okay, I see you're on the N8N website. You can find installation instructions under the Docs section. Do you want to go there?
I don't need instructions. I would just like the download button.
I don't see a direct download button on the main page. You can try clicking Self-Host N8N, which should take you to a page with different options for self-hosting, including instructions.
Just tell me where to go. I don't see it.
Okay, I see that you're on the N8N docs page. Under Where to Start, do you see the Choose the Right N8N for You box?
Okay.
I suggest choosing the self-host option, which is recommended for production or customized use cases. This will give you more control over the installation and configuration. Do you see it?
Yeah, so I see NPR and Docker. What does that mean?
Those are different methods for self-hosting N8N. NPM is a package manager for Node.js, and Docker is a containerization platform. Which one would you prefer?
Well, I want it just to run on my computer. I don't need it to run on Docker, do I?
If you want it to simply run on your computer, using NPM is a straightforward option. It uses Node.js, which is a common platform for running JavaScript applications.
So do I have to download Node.js?
Yes, the N8N documentation states that you must have Node.js installed, and it requires Node.js version 18 or above. Is Node.js already installed on your computer?
No. Can you walk me through how to do that?
I can guide you through installing Node.js. First, you'll need to go to the Node.js website to download the installer. The website is nodejs.org. Do you want to go to that website?
Is this the correct one?
Yes, that is the correct website. Now, click on the download button.
The Windows installer?
Great! Now click on the Windows installer. This will download the installer to your computer. Once the download is complete, run the installer and follow the on-screen instructions to install Node.js. Let me know if you want more instructions.
Do you know if Node.js runs every time I start my computer, or do I have to start it?
After installing Node.js, it doesn't automatically run in the background all the time. Node.js runs when you execute a Node.js application or script, like when you start N8N.
Can you read my screen? What does it mean to automatically install the necessary tools?
From what I can see, the Windows installer should automatically install the necessary tools when you run it. This means you likely won't have to manually install additional components or dependencies for Node.js to function properly.
Do you think I need to restart my computer to run this?
Generally, it's a good practice to restart your computer after installing software like Node.js, especially if the installer prompts you to do so. This ensures that all the changes are properly applied and that the system recognizes the new software.
It looks like it's still installing, correct?
Yes, it appears the download is still in progress. Once the download is complete, you'll need to run the installer. Are you able to locate the downloaded file?
Hey, Rebecca. Sorry, today's might be more boring. I am trying to learn how to create an AI agent. So, I've been struggling. So, I think I need to download these programs onto my computer to do it. But, again, the real value with these LLMs, I believe, is creating AI agents. It's not as fun and exciting as making funny images and videos and music, but this is what I really need to learn. But I'm definitely struggling. Seems to take quite a bit to add this node.js, that's for sure. I don't know if it's something's going wrong. Gemini, does it look like this is loading okay, or what is all this that it's loading? Gemini, are you there? Yeah, well, definitely code that I can't write. But and I don't even know if this is the right way. So the program that I'm going to use is called NAN, and that it's basically a program. There, I guess there's other ones called Made. There's another called Zapier. The whole idea is, it's kind of like a flow chart, right? So I really kind of understand the concept, but I cannot get the large language model for free. Okay, I guess that's the other thing is I can use the paid for ones, which I don't even think it's that expensive. So eventually I might give up and create a free, this part of the connection or the agent, the AI agent, is what's going to use the large, the LLM, large language model like ChatGPT and DeepSeek and Claude and all those. It connects to the AI agent. So it sees the email, the agent reads the email, it sends it to the LLM model to read the email and then create a funny response. And then the next one at the end will be, sending, replying to the email. So what I'm struggling with is I cannot get it to connect to my I downloaded the LLM model DeepSeek. So when you do a test, this part works, see the check mark? This part kind of worked, and then it's set in here where this is just not working. That's where I'm struggling. So this NAN that I'm using, I'm doing on a browser where the LLM model I downloaded. So what I'm thinking is maybe I need to download the NAN program also. So it needs a program called node.js to be able to run the NAN software in it. At least I think so. Yeah, I mean, the next part will be memory, adding that to the AI agent. So I just haven't quite got that far yet. So I've been using Google Studio too, which I just love being able to talk to it. Let me go back and see if that is still functioning. The Google Studio keeps disconnecting on me still, so I don't know what that's all about. Gemini, I'm downloading node.js. Does this look like it's done, or does this look like it's continuing to download that on my computer, or are all these errors? Can you kind of look through this and tell me if this seems correct?
The output in the window seems to indicate that the download process encountered several issues, including canceled requests and failures to find channel feeds. Would you like me to help you look for possible reasons why this download is not working?
So is it working? It looks like installer setup.exe. So has this downloaded now?
At the very end of the log, it says, Authenticode verification return hexadecimal 000000000 for pathc program files x86 Microsoft Visual Studio installer setup.exe, which could mean the installer setup file has been downloaded. Did you initiate the installer already to see if it runs correctly?
No, where would I go? I guess I got to remember this path. So it's not under my hard drive and downloads then, right?
Based on the path, the installer is located in the quote program files x86 directory within the Microsoft Visual Studio folder on your C drive, not in your downloads folder.
Okay, so running this setup, that's what I should do.
Yes, running that setup.exe file should start the installation process.
Okay, it does not look like it did that.
If running the setup file did not start the installation process, there might be an issue with the file itself. Some of the errors in the log indicate problems with downloading files and accessing the necessary feeds. Would you like some help troubleshooting those errors?
No. So Rebecca, I think I'm going to end this. It's been an hour. I'm going to actually get onto YouTube and see if I can find a video of somebody kind of doing exactly what I'm doing.
No problem. If you have any more questions in the future,
Gemini, stop. So I think my next video, I will do, hopefully that once I've learned it, my next video I will walk through it again. But I think I need to get onto YouTube to learn how to use NAN better first is my goal. Because the other thing is I think to get this to install, I need to restart my computer anyways. So with that, I appreciate you joining me. Again, the Gen X versus AI struggle is real, and I'm learning, but it's definitely being a little slow. So thanks for joining me. I appreciate it.